This video, I'm going to show you how to install a fuel pump access door in your 4th gen Trans Am Camaro SS Z28, whatever it might be. Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I am Joby. This is the Natural Gearhead Garage channel. That is my 2000 WS6 Trans Am. Do you also have a 4th gen Trans Am or Camaro or Z28 or whatever it might be in this same body style? And you're making some power. You're making more power, heads, cam, boost, whatever it is. Now you need to upgrade that fuel system. You may want to put a hot wire kit in for the fuel pump, give her a little more juice, but you don't want to drop the fuel tank because dropping the tank in these is a real big chore. Dropping the rear end, pulling the exhaust out of it. You want to get to the pump, but you don't want to do all the rest of the work. Well, I'll show you in this video how I installed an access panel. I think it came out really well. It's clean, and I'll show you. Maybe you want to do the same thing. Maybe you want to do the extra work. Let me show you why I did it, how I did it, and what it looks like. Let's open the hatch on this thing and take a look at it. All right, let me bring you in here. All right, so first thing is convenience. This is the final install. I'm going to show you some pictures and stuff here in a second of how I did it. I'll maybe give you some measurements and things like that. And use your best judgment. I just want to show you what I did, and perhaps this is something that you would like to do or you're interested in doing and you're not sure how to do it or what it might end up like in the end. You can see if I were to change this fuel pump, because now I have an aftermarket pump. I had to go to a bigger pump. We got heads, cam, whatnot in this car. It's making more power, needed more pump. We put a hot wire kit in it to give it more power electrically wise. Now I need a more fuel pump. So this being aftermarket pump, I know it's probably going to go bad. It just is what it is. Aftermarket is just not as good as OEM, and I hope that it lasts a long time. But if it doesn't, I didn't want to drop the tank and rear end and all that stuff, the exhaust, take the exhaust out of it, just to change the fuel pump. I did this with the tank in place. Be very careful. You don't want, obviously there's fumes and whatnot. Let's say I wanted to change the fuel pump because now my aftermarket pump went bad. You can see, not a big deal. You just pull these loose on both sides, fold the carpet up, and come down here. We got a 1/4 turn fastener. Kick that baby over like that. I'm going to use a screwdriver just to open it. Flop that unit over. Boom. There's my fuel pump right there. You can access all your lines. You can take your connections off. Change it right through this hole. I've already changed this one through this hole. And me sealing this up all the way around, there is no fumes, anything like that coming into the car. It has a nice flange here. So this sits nice whenever it lays down. I riveted it all in instead of using screws. So we have minimal hanging down underneath. And this thing just folds over nice. Listen to that. And then you just take this, give it a boom, 1/4 turn like that. It's good to go. Then you just lay your carpet down, throw these babies back in, and you are back on the road. All right, guys, so the next thing I'm going to do is just kind of show you some slides, some photos of when I went through and did this, and just to give you a better idea and talk you through of from the beginning, I guess you'd say. So first photo, here it is. What that's going to be is a picture of what it looked like before I cut it. So it kind of gives you a good visual of what you're going to see whenever you pull the carpet up. The next photo we're going to go over to is going to be after I cut the hole. Now what I did was I drilled holes in the corners with a drill bit, and I used drill stops so that I didn't go too deep. I just barely had it go through the metal. And I'll show you all these tools here in a minute after we get done with the photos and going through this. I'll show you everything that I used to do it. You can see that tool sitting beside the hole that I had cut. That is an air nibbler. It doesn't throw any sparks. It cuts the metal nice and clean. It cuts it fast. You're not using a cutoff wheel that's throwing sparks everywhere with your vent line right there, and worrying about cutting through one of your fuel lines or one of your wires. So that tool works really well, and I'll show you that here also in a minute. The next thing I did was made a cardboard template of the exact dimensions of what I was seeing for the panel itself. The first cut was just an initial cut to get a hole and kind of see where everything was underneath. And then I made a template to the actual size, went ahead, marked it out with a Sharpie, made the center a flange so I could see the inside of it, the opening. So that just kind of gets you right where we are now. I've got another photo after I installed the door, opening the door, So you kind of have a good idea, and we're all caught up there. All right, guys, so going over some of these tools. First thing, get you some safety glasses. You only get one pair of eyes. You can't fix them. A Sharpie, tape measure. And I'll give you some measurements here in a minute. I used a 1/2-inch drill bit. I actually pilot drilled it first with a smaller drill bit, and then I used a 1/2-inch drill bit to get those rounded corners. You don't want sharp corners on the edges. That could promote cracks. You could get fatigue cracking out the corners, so you want it rounded. Whether you use a burr bit and go in there when you're done cutting the hole and round that out, give it a little radius, or use a drill bit. These are the drill stops I was talking about. It's just a little donut, and it just slides over the end, right? And honestly, I think I had it sticking out about that much, barely. It's got an Allen key. You just tighten it up. It locks it on there. It only allows it to go in that far. Got these on Amazon, these drill stops, for, I think they were like $8 for a whole set of them. So those worked out really good. And then I had some aviation, some tin snips. These bad boys here, I call them aviation snips, tin snips, whatever. I had to use these because when I came in with my air nibbler, the 1/2-inch wasn't quite big enough for this to fit in there. So I had to kind of snip it a little bit. You can even use those to go around just to get a rough cut. I did a rough hole to kind of get an idea of what was under there. And then I came in and did all my measurements and made more of my final cuts. This air nibbler right here, this one's made by ATS. You can also get these at Harbor Freight. Not sure how good the Harbor Freight ones are. And it'll just go around. It makes no sparks. It's just brrrr, and you can just cut around real nice. This is a nice tool for something like this, so you don't damage anything underneath, because you can see it doesn't hang down. There's no cutoff wheel or like a Sawzall or anything crazy like that. The cutter is contained inside here. It basically just punches little holes as it goes around and just makes a nice clean cut all the way around. And that's basically the tools. We'll jump back over here. I'll kind of show you the measurements. All right, guys, so with this here, basically, if you use this panel here, this exact panel, or one like it, it's 8 inches overall. So you can see that gives me a nice, just right up to the edge of this body line here, and right up to the edge of this body line right here. And then I just come right before it really starts to curve over. You can see that it curves, and I'm right on the edge of that here. And then there's a stamping here with some numbers, and I'm right below that, okay? So that kind of gives you a good idea of where we're at. Pop this baby open. Let's see, we had to change her out. Super easy. So you can see this little flange. So this needs a 6.5 by 6.5 to drop in here so it sits nice and flush. But this actual opening between these flanges is like 6.25, 6.25. Okay. This panel comes with pre-drilled holes already. I went and marked all my holes, center punched them, drilled them with the drill stop again, and then I just put these rivets in to hold it in place. But before I put it down, I ran some nice silicone. It's made by Right Stuff. It dries in like 90 seconds or something crazy like that. You just ran a bead all the way around. I smoothed it out real nice, set this in, riveted it all in, and then I ran a bead all the way around and sealed this thing up, because you do have this gap here. So I just sealed that up real nice so that no fumes can get through there. Also, the edges, before I installed this, I went ahead and painted all the bare metal edges where I cut it. So that's all protected. And then put this all in, and then we just lock this thing into place. We got a nice install. When we lay this carpet down, I mean, this thing is flush. You don't see anything. And it being stainless steel, it'll last a long time. That pretty much wraps up the whole install on this thing, guys. If you're one of the haters, or whatever you want to call it, the people who hate just people cutting holes and putting access panels, some factory cars come with this from the factory. They'll come with an access hole. These should have, honestly. I wish GM would have did it because of the work that's involved to get the tank out of these. Now this is for, I think, 98 to 02. Do your research on that for where the placement of this is. I know the older 4th gens, the LT1 cars, basically if you have a plastic tank from the factory, your hole is going to be right here where mine is. But if you have a metal tank, they tend to go forward more. You got to cut a bigger hole, and it's a little more forward because it has hard lines. So do your research on that. This should be 98 to 02, but I'm not 100% positive. This is just what I did. You don't have to do this. I don't take any responsibility, okay, for what you do, but This is how I did it on my car. Like I said, this is my car. I've had it since brand new. I will have it till I don't exist anymore, and my family will have it after me. And if they ever need to change a fuel pump, it's going to make their life a whole lot easier. So anyway, that's that. Hopefully, if this is something you're looking to do to your car, it'll give you a little bit of insight. Let me know what you think about it. Unless you want to be one of the haters, don't let me know, because I don't care. Again, I don't care. But if you have any questions, because you are interested, leave me a little comment down there and let me know. As always, like and subscribe. Share with your friends if you would. That helps the channel grow. It really helped me out a lot. And we'll see you in the next video.